Hey guys, another video today. Today we'll be doing deportations, talking about them, discussing them, and stuff if I'm not sure of, I'll let you guys know. I'm not a legal expert, but based on the knowledge I have of the U.S. Constitution and of the Federalist Papers and stuff, I'll be going off of that. But what I do know of them, and correlation with our laws currently on deportation for what I'm seeing on our government site. So let's get into it. Again, this is a USA.gov/deportation. You can visit this. This is a government site. Look up other topics and everything else on this thing. It doesn't just cover just deportation, as you can see on the screen. Deportation. Learn how deportation works. Find how to locate someone detained by ICE and report immigration violations, as well as any real American should if there is illegal immigrants that you can tell are illegal. Or that you suspect anyone of harboring illegal immigrants, which is a crime too. Understand the deportation process, as everyone should learn about this. I believe that this should be taught as well in schools and stuff later on, so you have a general understanding of the basics of our laws, rules, regulations, and other things. Learn how the deportation process works and how to get help if you are facing deportation. Locate someone being detained by ICE for immigration violation or deportation. Find out how to locate someone who may have been held by ICE for an immigration violation or deportation, or get the status of an immigration court case. Okay, so find out how to locate someone who may have been held by ICE for an immigration violation or deportation, as well as that should be accessed by any American citizen, because of being able to know who these people are. We need to be able to know everything about them, take pictures, take fingerprints, take DNA samples, fingerprints, if I already said that. I think all the way down to piss test and feces test, everything about them. The moment you come in this country, I think they should be able to do all that. If you are a immigrant trying to live here, or if you're merely just visiting, I think you should also have to pay a large sum of money to be able to come into this country. There should not be any way around that stuff that I just said. This is ridiculous, why we don't keep better track of these people, and why we don't make it harder for people to come to this country, and make it even harder for readmissions and stuff for people who left willingly. How people that are criminals in this country, that are immigrants, that they have the ability to come back in sometimes. I don't believe if you have a number of crimes, whether it be violent crime or it be little crimes, I don't believe if you have more than 3 of little crimes or just one of a major crime, I think that you should not be allowed to ever come back in this country. I think you should have to serve a long prison sentence, and then they can deport you. Or if you had done lesser crimes, I think that you should be offered voluntarily to be deported right then and there, or be imprisoned for the duration of whatever it was that you did, and then deport you anyways after it's over. Again, that's just my opinion on it. I'm very pro deportation for illegal immigrants and people who are anti-American. How to report an immigration violation. Immigration violations include criminal acts, visa violations, or public safety threats. as well as they should be violations. If you do any kind of criminal act, like I just said, should lead to deportation. Visa violations, if you outstay your welcome, or so to speak, to stay beyond longer than what was agreed, yes, you should be deported and should not be allowed back in. Public safety threats, yes, if you're a terrorist or something like that, yes, I do believe you do need to be put in prison for a very long time and then kicked out and never allowed back in this country, and have everything on these people on record, everything about them, all of it, so that way they can't come back in. Let's see. Here we have deportation process. Let's go to that. Okay. Here it is. Understand the deportation process. Learn how the deportation process works and how to get help if you are facing deportation. Deportation is the process of removing a non-citizen from the U.S. for violating immigration law. The U.S. may detain and deport non-citizens who participate in criminal acts, are a threat to public safety, violate their visa. Yep. To find out if someone has a deportation order, check the automated case information system managed by the Department of Justice, as well as they should. DOJ, FBI, all that is interconnected, and for some of it's for a good reason, sometimes not. Just kind of depends on who's in office at the time and who's in charge of the DOJ and what kind of people we have in the DOJ. Enter the A number to find the immigration court date or deportation order details. Find the 8 or 9-digit A number in all Department of Homeland Security and Executive Office for Immigration Review correspondence. Okay. Again, I think that all this paperwork for these people should be saved and kept on file, along with a file of all their DNA, their fingerprints, all that stuff, pictures, everything. Everything needs to be documented on these people, whether we let them in our country or have to let them go. We need to keep better track of these people, so that way we can tell who's who, and who is not allowed back into this country. Okay, what happens when someone is detained by immigration? The foreign national may be held at a detention center before trial or deportation. Of course they should be. So that way they can't make a run for it if they committed crimes, and they can't go off and hurt people because they're being looked into because they're afraid of being deported, as well as to keep them from getting in the way of the ICE and police's work to investigate the case, and as well as to seize things, like bank accounts, houses, cars, loans, all that stuff, just everything that can be used against them or used to for the expense of deporting them. After ICE detains a non-citizen, they may go before a judge in the immigration court during a deportation process. Again, being an immigrant, especially an illegal immigrant, by U.S. constitutional standards, you do not have a right to be before a judge or jury. But I do believe in, if you do it the right way, then yes. Yes, I think you should have that option to be able to go for a judge, because you did it with proper papers and everything checks out. But if you didn't, no, I do not believe you have any right to a judge or jury and should be just deported right away. In some cases, a non-citizen is subject to expedited removal without being able to attend a hearing in immigration court. If you didn't, have the right papers on it, yeah, I do believe you should be deported. You should not be allowed to come back into this country. You should not have a right to judge and jury if you have come in here illegally. It's a felony to cross that border illegally. If you do not have your papers and you do not try to come in the right way, then yeah, you are a criminal. I believe wholeheartedly in the southern border wall that Trump is building. I hope to see a northern border wall. I wish that we would use more National Guard on these things and kind of station them from different states to the northern border and the southern border at different times, kind of circulate them. And I think more Navy and National Coast Guard should be patrolling our oceans more frequently. Expedited removal may happen when a non-citizen comes to the U.S. without proper travel documents. Of course, like I've been saying, uses forged travel documents. Yeah, basically documents that look real but are not real. That can lead to, I think, should lead to possible spy mentality. Could be an insurgent. Could be any kind of mercenary. Could be something that is completely and utterly dangerous to our country. That could steal military secrets, or possibly even take nuclear codes. All kinds of stuff. Stuff that's real dangerous. Use information based on just the average everyday American citizen and try to use that to their advantage to blend in with the population so people don't suspect them and they can do more damage in a longer period of time before people catch on. Does not comply with their visa or other entry document requirements. Of course. Yeah, if you outstay your welcome, yes, you should be kicked out. And if you don't comply with other requirements that we ask of you and all that is of our laws and regulations on it, then yeah, you should be eligible for deportation or rejection upon entry. Immigration court hearings and rulings. An immigration court of the DOJ hears the related case. If a judge rules that the deportation should proceed, ICE carries out a removal order. Of course they should. If it's a real illegal immigrant and their papers do not add up and all that, then yes, they should be kicked out. If they are an illegal immigrant and they have committed crimes on it, I think should be put in prison, serve their time, and then deported after that anyways and not allowed to come back into this country. If it's a serious crime, I think that they need to get a very lengthy prison sentence, real long, and then deport them as an old person, back into their own home country with nothing but the clothes on their back. The same with the other people the other immigrants that have lived here in this country for many years and did it illegally. I think they should have everything confiscated from and sold by the government to the American people, so that way it helps cover the part of the funding for deporting them. I think we should go to a federal sales tax, so that way no one can get out of the tax and we can use a small percentage of that tax to use toward deportations to help get these people, get them out of our country. Because if we don't, we are going to lose them, because we're going to lose our country, because they vote Democrat, they vote socialism, they vote communism, they are against us. Wholeheartedly, they are against us. They want to basically take their rules from the home they came from and bring them here. They want to bring in their drugs, they want to bring in their prostitution, they want to bring in their rules and regulations that have nothing to do with the U.S. Constitution, and that is not legal, and it is treasonous for any American to side with the illegals like that to help them put these laws that they want to bring over in place that supersede the Constitution. Again, I think if there's physical evidence of that kind of stuff, and once due process is given, yes, they should be eligible for treason. The American citizen or whoever it is that did that is an American needs to be put charged with treason or perjury or whatever it is that they are physically caught doing. The physical evidence, not circumstantial, not any of that other stuff. I'm talking physical evidence. Before deportation, you might be able to leave the U.S. at your own expense. This is known as voluntary departure. I think that only a handful of cases of voluntary departure should they allow readmission. I think ones that haven't committed crimes and they have their papers and they check out, let the papers check out, and they are trying to go about it the right way, then I think they should be deported and then suspended for a little while, watched real heavily, and then maybe given the chance for a readmission. But once they're back in this country, they should be watched heavily, and any further actions that they do against or whatever need to be deported and not allowed back in. That shouldn't be happening. It's just unacceptable that we allow so many of them readmission, and some of these people are criminals and stuff like that. Appeal or get help with a deportation order. You may appeal some deportation rulings. Basically like an overturning of cases and stuff is what appeals are, I believe. Before appealing the ruling, find legal services. You may also be able to find help from a non-profit legal organization. For questions about filing an appeal, contact a USCIS office. I'm not sure what that is. A USCIS office, I'm unsure of, so if you guys know, I might want to put that in the comments or something. If you feel that your civil rights have been violated, learn how to file a complaint with the Department of Homeland Security. Again, if you're a legal immigrant, you came in here illegally, you don't have a right to civil rights by constitutional standards. And anyone that treats you like you do and all that, that's illegal. And they should be held responsible for not only what the illegal does in this country, or laws they broke, but also for helping aid a foreign enemy, which is treason. These non-profit legal organizations, I think, should be restricted heavily. I think they should be restricted so much that it's damn near impossible to help these criminals get back in, or to help them gain citizenship. I think it should be very hard. It should be very, very, very hard to get citizenship into this country, because we don't know who these people are. What happens when someone is deported? The majority of removals are carried out by air at U.S. government expense. Again, a government expense, I think, should be covered by what I had said earlier, confiscating things and selling it and stuff to help pay for that expense. Going to a federal sales tax to use a portion of that for that expense, among other things. I think a donation thing should be set up for American citizens who want to donate to help fund deport these people, get them out, and keeping them out. I believe in the southern border wall. I believe that we need to finish this and get this done. And I hope to see a northern border wall, because what Mexico and Canada have done is basically an act of invasion by letting in all these illegals come marching across that border like they were soldiers or whatever. That's an act of invasion right there. Others may use a combination of air and ground transportation. Yes, I believe in that as well. Use trains, use vans, use buses, hell, use helicopters and cargo planes and stuff like that to get these people out. We need to get them out fast. We need to get them out as much as possible. Foreign nationals who have committed nonviolent crimes may be subject to rapid repat. R-E-P-A-T. I don't know what that is. If you guys know what that is, put that down in the comments. Again, if I don't know what it is, I'm going to tell you guys, and if y'all know what it is, put it down in the comments. They can be released from prison to voluntarily return to their country of origin. I believe they should be released from prison when their sentence is up, and then deport them. I think while they're in prison that they should have to work every day, pretty much, except one day a week. They should have to work something that's beneficial to our country, like picking up trash, going out and picking up litter, going around recycling plants and used to for minor jobs and stuff to help further along our economy, further along our communities and stuff, while being watched heavily by law enforcement officers. Let's see. Next is readmission to the U.S. after deportation or removal. Find out if you can apply for readmission to the U.S. Contact the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, to learn more about applying for readmission after deportation. Okay, so that's what a USCIS is, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Okay, so readmission, I believe, should only be allowed for very, 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 very few cases. People who have a clean record both in this country and outside this one, or who do not have a current record in this country because they have not come here yet, but they have a clean record back in their home country, I think should have a shot coming in. But readmissions, I think, should be done for people only for ones who I would say very few cases, like very few. Things like ones who have papers that check out and all that, and they came here and they did not commit any crimes. They have not stayed here for an extended amount of time, like beyond that of I think like a month. If you have not at least done that within a time like of a month to get yourself situated with getting the ball rolling on your paperwork and everything else, yeah, I think if you at least try to do that within a month, and they're trying to deport you, I think that they should deport you if you give them trouble over it. But if you don't, I think that they should put you in a holding facility, keep an eye on you for a while, help you with your paperwork and all that, and keep a close eye on you after the paperwork's done and you're allowed into this country. But for readmissions of these people who have lived in this country for extended lengths of time, and they never did their paperwork and they never did crimes in this country and stuff except that, coming across the border illegally, I think should be deported. And I don't think they should have readmission, because you broke the law the moment you crossed across it illegally and tried to actually stay here beyond a 1 month period to get everything you needed in, to sign up for paperwork wise. If you did that beyond a month, I think you should have to be deported. There's only one way in this country, I believe, and that's to do it the legal way. You can join the military. I believe that you should have a shot at that to gain your citizenship. Do your full stint in the U.S. military, and you should be allowed into this country, but only you, not your extended family, not your wife or your kids. I think your wife and kids should have to go through the legal system with proper documents and all that too, and then they can earn their citizenship just like you can if you choose to join the military or if you choose to do the legal paperwork. Message to all the foreigners and illegal immigrants: if you want freedom, go back to your own country and fight for your freedom like we did against the British and the American Revolutionary War. That's all I gotta say for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. If you wish to see more content like this, let me know. I have other videos and other things out there that, if it strikes your interest, be sure to check those out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.